Okay, so this one's called Man Up. We men are made up by a series of bullshit folk stories, passed down from generation to generation, predetermining our vision of glories, innately protective of our territories, whilst aimlessly trying to live up to society's masculine inventories. We're taught that we should stand our ground and fight, but overlooked is the fact it pays to be bright, to first see the light in others before exercising our claims of being hard and hunting at night. Smoking weed is sold as a statement of teenage prominence, living the dream through playground dominance, bonding over the highs and establishing commonness. But they forget to mention that for some of us it messes with our head in those quiet moments when we're filled with dread. But we'll follow our mates down the rabbit hole anyway because we're easily led. Drinking hard and drinking fast, the promise that the party days will forever last. Yet childlike innocence is lost with every single glass until we're supping back to suppress the past. Sniffing, popping, dabbing too, whatever's knocking about amidst the crew. I'm not saying that recreational drugs are going to ruin you, but if use increases beyond the odd few, there's a greater chance of us feeling blue. And nobody ever stopped to tell us the realities in our youth. That's whilst having a great time and burning down the roof, we may grow up trapped in a cycle of drink and drug association, and that's the truth. Men get depressed. Men feel the weight, anxiety-ridden and consumed with self-hate whilst we sit there worrying and overthinking our fate. Treat 'em mean and keep 'em keen. Warped ideas of relationships, possessive and green. Porn doesn't help, it sets an unhealthy scene. Unrealistic expectations rooted by the age of 16. That men should be this and women should do that. That sex is about all kinds of crazy shit when you go into bat. If only we were taught that love is about care, about respect and about building a peaceful habitat. A young lad like you should be out sowing your seed, hungry for validation, acceptance, fulfilling an unmet need. Insecurities manifest though, and play out as immature greed, texting at speed, a shameful deed. Boys will be boys, by order or decreed. And don't forget the pressure accrued by looking the part. Chiseled abs, pecs and arms before we even start. Is that what matters, or what's inside our heart, or if we're thinking smart? Maybe that's what should count on the masculinity chart. Provide for our families. Be a good sport. Remember all the things that we've been taught before we're sold down the river for fast cars, expensive clothes and the shoes we should never have bought. Down to the bookies for an acca, something we learned pretty hasty. The favourite in the 315 at Haydock looks pretty tasty. Flashing the cash, wages gone in a dash. Chasing losses and being rash. Popping champagne with our winnings was such a catch until we're punting on the dogs, the horses, and how many fucking corners there's going to be in a match. Then drowning in sorrow as our savings disappear down the hatch. Brave smiles and conversation filler. All the while, thoughts are getting shriller. Is it any wonder that so many succumb to the silent killer? And so when it all gets too much, the drink, the drugs, the money, the image, we don't dare to cry. Men are supposed to be strong and tears we're deceived to defy. No matter how desperate and hard we try, we just don't feel confident enough to ask why. We're expected to man up, to solve it all and to be that guy. Of course, none of this is set in stone. The struggle is real, but we're not on our own. We need to normalise that it's okay for men to have a little moan. Maybe eat a little bit better, get some fresh air and spend less time on our phone. Perhaps lasting change can occur if the wisdom from our mistakes is available to loan, but whatever it is, the next generation of young men need to be freed from the prehistoric burdens of masculinity on their quest to be grown. Nice one. This so that obviously is exactly what it says on the tin. It's my experiences of masculinity growing up, the pressures that are accrued, and trying to do the right thing or figuring out what the right thing is over the course of your teenage years, and try to put that down into a few words. This next one's called Working Class. Don't dismiss or pity me because I'm working class. Because we both have to work, me and our lass. Because my granddad drank in boozers that were supplied by Bass. You know, we just get things done without fuss or sass. If it was up to me, I'd smash straight through that ceiling of glass. Our nation, nay, the world, built by people of our stature, yet our collective efforts and achievements seem reluctantly captured. Instead, the upper echelons of our so-called civilised society would rather fracture our commonalities, our resolve, our love and our rapture. Graffiti art, the rag and bone cart, on our sleeves we wear our heart with 100% effort given to everything, no matter our part. Terraced houses made of Accrington brick, key workers galore making our country tick. Tough times and struggles just trying to make things click, whilst the cabinet release another loaded statement made by the next pompous prick. I take objection to any surprise that we might be intelligent, because what, we went to schools that let's just say aren't the most elegant, or because in the more simple things we find a cause to become celebrant. Maybe it's just because our lives and our wisdom to the elite just ain't that fucking relevant. The promenade stalls, the overalls, the rise and falls of our emotional walls. We might have moved on from meat and two veg, or our car might have the latest reg, but we're bound by an age-old working class pledge to take care of our own, especially those close to the edge. Lower paid jobs having to work twice as hard, from positions of power we're exclusively barred, dancing with the devil of debt and his credit card. Before some of us are even born, our fate is sealed, our brush is tarred. The high street, worn feet, the stories from the people we meet, and the imprint of an old man's arse on his favourite seat. As kids, we'd be equals and play in the park, till the lights came on and the cobbled streets turned dark. Before the innocence of childhood and having a lark was replaced by being told where, when and at who we should bark. Workers' rights and union action. Our comparative wages are only a fraction. So escaping to the weekend is a recurring reaction, because making memories in those carefree moments just provides us with so much more traction. Tired frowns, hand-me-downs, the immersion's on, get into your dressing gowns. Beans on toast, not likely to boast. A ritual Sunday roast. Working class people, the people I love the most. All right. Nice one. So this, I'm going to do one more. If that's all right, guys. And this is probably the one that catapulted me into this arena where I'm performing live gigs and coming on podcasts and shit like that. So we'll chat about that afterwards. But yeah, this one, some people say it's grim up north, and I say fuck off. This one's called To Be Northern. Let me tell you a story why I'm proud to be from up here. We stand together in times of fear, put the world to rights over a pint of beer. You see, the northern spirit is unique. We greet strangers with a cheer. Our sense of humour is top, and we say things are dead good. Got to have gravy on everything if you're from our neighbourhood. We do things for folk and don't expect a fee, just maybe a slice of cake and a nice strong cup of tea, and we make the time to ask, how you doing? And how's your Lee? Rita, Sue and Bob too, talking about local bands that are new, getting to know somebody you've just met in the queue, or chunnering about their life story in the loo. Oasis, the Stone Roses, the Charlatans and Mega Mate, the Smiths, James and so many others that are great. Paul Heaton, Ian Curtis, Peter Hook, take a bow. And don't forget, we also know how to have a fucking row. Round our way, there's a light that never goes out. Richard Ashcroft, Pulp, the Beatles with Twist and Shout. If you stepped out of line as a kid, your ears will get a clout. Mop it all up with bread and butter if you're ever in doubt. I wear my northern badge with honour, and I stand mighty and I stand tall, alongside comedy icons like Ken Dodd, Carolina Hearn and Cannon and Ball. I say hey up at the start and ta-ra at the end of a call, and I leave my big coat at home, even though the temperature might fall. We drink Lucozade if we're ever poorly. We've got towns like Skipton, Kendal, Bury and Chorley, the Lake District, Peak District, the Yorkshire Dales too, scraps from the chippy and belting pie shops, we've got a few. We've got Jessica Ennis Hill and Marcus Rashford. Connection and good times give us so much more than cash could. We're not flash, just confidently kind round my neck of the wood. Hold doors open and give up chairs as my old man says you should. Our kid could be your brother. It could also be your mate when we're gagging for a drink to end up in any state. We've got Northern Soul, which is cool as fuck, dancing on talky floors from Stoke-on-Trent to Blackpool Mecca or through Wigan Casino's doors. We brought the world Vimto. Billy Elliot, Danger Mouse as well. Love Arts. The sweets, not the kind that made you dance your tits off and your eyes proper swell. Kellogg's Cornflakes, Acid House, Marks and Spencer and Beacon Fell. People of our region have gone down in history. The first computer, the Football and Rugby League and the whole light switch mystery. Arctic Monkeys, Shed 7. A guy called Gerald and people with One Night in Heaven. Barms, oven bottoms, tea cakes. For this, we're forever having a poll, but one thing it's not up here is a fucking bread roll. We call our dinner our tea, and that's 5 p.m. on the dot. The terms love, cock and pet are endearing, certainly sexist they're not. Whether we wear our top button done up as a statement of fashion, or we've packed the dance floors at the Hacienda, the Syndicate, Wigan Pier or Tall Trees with passion, one thing that will always, always keep our feet firmly on the ground is that most people you meet are usually fucking sound. Thank you. Get me on Instagram at Parker Words. I've got a Facebook page, which is Parker Book. Twitter, but I don't really use Twitter actually, so you're probably best swerving that one. Nice one.